I had some technical issues in terms of, let's see, my internet, as always. It rained really heavily just now, so please forgive me. I'm just kidding. Welcome back to another episode.
Let's see, my
Episode.
internet, as always. It rained really.
Welcome back to another episode of Imagine Notes. I was mixing that up. And for today, it is again chemistry notes for lazy people, and we're continuing from last week the topic of bonding. And in this week's episode, you're gonna get a complete set of fun study notes for when you don't feel like studying. All right. The ability to remember and recall, a lot improved ability to recall and remember. And finally, you're also going to get, what was my third point? Oh, Joe, I had it in my head.
Okay.
Uh,
What was it?
well, what they will get from this episode. Yeah. And yeah. Oh, and finally, you also gain an insight as to this phrase called that everyone keeps telling people: study smart, not hard. Yeah. So that was the one that was in my
Play
head. Yeah.
smart, play hard.
Yes. Study smart, play hard. Don't study hard and play. Well, you could play smart, but what's the if you like playing puzzle games, you could play smart. Oh well. And if you're joining us again for this live session, please go ahead and just say hi to us. We love seeing all of you in this. Yeah. Yeah. And how was your week this week, Joe?
Okay, it was a bit hectic. We are rushing off the notes to be given
Mm-hmm.
out to them.
Oh yes, yes, yes. I think in the middle of this episode, let us take a little like break, a little
Mm.
like ad break, and maybe because I think I have the. Oh yeah, we could give you a sneak peek of what the notes look like
Yay!
after Nad and Yvonne, our artists or our pro drawers, have gotten their hands on it. So yeah. All right. So as I think to retain the continuity from last week, I've decided to draw the notes out.
Yep.
Yeah,
Just
so that
yeah.
yeah, because I find that the pacing is a whole lot better
Mm.
actually for when we're doing the notes, because when I'm drawing it, there's a bit of lag time. So maybe sometimes we can do that, and sometimes we don't. But I haven't personally watched the previous episode to see whether it's a lot better or not. Yeah, yeah. Have you?
No, not yet.
All right. Okay, so we are going to do metallic bonds first, right?
But we definitely get to cover more stuff, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So this is the first time we've actually done a full set of notes for a full chapter. BTW. Normally we would just take bits and pieces of a chapter and then do a note for it. Okay.
Yay!
Yeah. So yeah, you guys are lucky. Yeah, and yeah, we gotta remember to show you the preview of the full set of notes that we've been doing. Yeah. All right. They look something like this. Yeah, except better because not anyone can draw. I can't. But I do this for those
Not
of you.
true. You can draw as well. See,
Ah, just circle hearts. Like it's a basic shape. Huh?
more than enough. All arts are made of shapes and lines and dots.
Yes. So if you guys are out there, say hi. And for those of you who don't know us and are just joining the episode, this episode is not the live session. I'm Erica, and we're teachers who hated studying because memorizing did not work for us. Like I was forced to memorize, and I have an Asian, like a typically Asian father who likes A's. Yeah. Joe, on the other hand, was lucky. His parents were not so fussed about grades. Zen, Zen one.
More of a neglected child. Nah, just kidding. They are more free and easier. Oops. I see a freezing screen. Oh, we lost her.
Okay, I'm so
This is that.
sorry. My internet is
You
on.
went black for a while, like 2 seconds.
Okay, hang on. It's coming back slowly but surely. You know what? I'm going to.
No, it's picking up again. You are back to normal, isn't it?
Yeah, because you're in relative. Like, hello. It's work.
Yeah, it's working. It's working. I can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me, but can you see me? I can't see you move, and like my
You can hear me.
it's like a 3 out of 10 here.
Ah, my line is fine. I get full bars, I think. Hmm. I can hear you, but your image
Now down to
doesn't catch up with the voice.
I don't know why, man. I'm gonna test my personal hotspot and see.
Hmm. Okay, guys, if you have time, please hit the subscribe button below. Subscribe to us, our channel, or like our videos. We are actually preparing a set of free notes to be given to you guys like real soon. Real soon. You hear the thunder? That's what happened to our internet connections when it rained in Malaysia.
Five, J.
Yay, I get to solo the whole show. Mhm. Yep, you're back.
Thank God.
Ah.
Am I back now? Am I really back?
Yes.
Okay, now it's 10. And
Yep, you're good.
I don't know if
I mean, probably a little bit of delay, but still okay. Okay, carry on. Oops, your voice is breaking up again. Are we losing her? Are we losing her? Stay with us. Come on, there we go. Stay with us.
stay with us, don't die now. Okay, am I back now?
Yes, you are.
But now no, I'm definitely not back. What the heck?
You are,
Let me
isn't it? Oops, we lost her. We lost her. Where are you? Hello. Guys, this is what happened. Technical issues in a life. So internet connections play like pretty major role when it comes to live session. Are you back?
Ah, huh? Am I back?
Yeah. I see you.
Okay, but Joe, your screen is frozen and I can't see what's happening.
It's okay, you can hear me, right? I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that I'm moving here, but not necessarily on the screen. So
Yep.
okay, but I can see here. So
Yeah.
I apologize, guys. Okay, so let's just dive straight into it. Yeah. Luckily, we're not in Jakarta. It's even more unreliable internet.
We're probably on the way, like on the road. Get ourselves to the place.
Yes. Hi, Church House. Oh gosh. All right. So here we are. Okay. Okay. So we'll come back to chemistry notes for lazy people.
Yay.
Yes, and this is the continuation of bonding with metallic bonding coming on. And we did promise last week that we will also show you how to sort of like summarize everything
Mm.
in terms of. Oh, come on
Your
now.
phone.
Theoretically, guys. Like, theoretically. Why? How did it fall out? Because, like, I didn't leave or anything like that.
Teacher Charles, he says I was about to ask Joe to tell a chemistry joke. Do I have chemistry joke with me?
No, Joe, all the good ones are gone.
Ew. Ew. I see what you did there. I got it. Ew. Okay.
Okay, there we go. We're back.
Yay.
Thanks for bearing with us, guys. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't intend for this to happen. I promise you that. It just does. All right. So we're gonna continue on with metallic bonding. Yeah, that's right, Sir Charles.
All the good ones are gone. That's what you get.
Yep. I'm gonna put their atomic number 2 times 3, so you get he he
Yeah. Ew.
helium.
Oh my god.
I know.
Okay.
Terrible.
Oh
Okay.
my god, is another joke, isn't it? Like oxygen and magnesium.
I guess so. There is one like that.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back, guys. Welcome back to Imagine Notes, and welcome back us after the disastrous like connectivity issues. We're gonna dive straight into metallic bonding. All right, we got on a bit late also because of the connectivity issues, so mutual apologies. I think I've said connectivity issues 5 times, so let's go on before it actually does happen. Okay, so we're gonna go into the note for metallic bonding. I'm sorry, guys. We're just all over the place today. So we're going to go into metallic bonding, all right? And basically, the definition for metallic bonding is here. It's basically the electrostatic bond between, or actually attraction between, this should have been attraction, because that's why I drew this, between positive ions and a sea of delocalized electrons in a giant metallic lattice.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I tried to play. So one of the ways to make your notes fun, right, and for when you want or don't want to study is for when you don't want to study, right, or don't feel like studying, you can play with the font size.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you want, also you can actually draw, you know, uh, you can actually draw who these lines too. Yeah, obviously, Nan and Yvonne have the skills to add some pizzazz to this. Yeah. So these are just ideas. All right. So just make it interesting for your eyes to follow and your mind to read. Yeah. Okay. And we did these stickers before for an event. And we had like little sayings for each of the bonds for people to take. I think people really love the one for metallic bond because the saying for a metallic bond was stay positive in a sea of negativity.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes, because when the electrons are delocalized, then then the atoms become ions, right? Positive ions, cations. Yeah. So and then these things are actually mobile. That's why I labeled here mobile electrons, so that we know, and that's why it's considered a sea of delocalized electrons. They're kind of like
Mm.
floating around in here. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So and then we go into the basically delocalized. I think sometimes you need to know what it means. So it just means that metal atoms lose their outer electrons. So I kind of did here like because it's not an ion yet. So I accidentally drew an ion, a positive ion. So I just turned this into a little skit. You know. Metal atoms lose their outer electrons. I drew an atom here that went, oh no, I lost my electron. and, and then it's like, oh well, at least I'm still here, all in one piece. So and become positively charged ions.
Yeah.
So how many of you out there, when something bad happens, sometimes you brush it off by becoming just, by seeing the brighter side of things, right? So you can use those moments in your notes, especially for a metallic bond, like because that's how I would associate metallic bond here, and that's how
Mm.
we associated metallic bond. Yeah. Do you have anything to add, Joe?
Nope.
Okay, you got jokes to teacher Charles there. Okay, so there we go. All right, and then the physical properties, right? So as you guys can see, right, isn't it so cool? Isn't it so cool that like every single page is just so nice to read?
Yes.
Yeah, like I wish I was older when I wish I knew what I knew now in order to do these kind of notes when I was in high school because that would have saved so
Mm,
much time, studying, and it would have been more fun as well. I just sit
true.
there and I look through this and laugh, right? So this next one is physical properties of metals. Yeah. So again, instead of like using all the words, right? um, yeah, just use pictures, right? So I have like so they've got good electrical conductivity, right?
Yeah.
And it's made possible by, I decided to do like a brand disclaimer kind of thing, made possible by mobile electrons able to move freely.
Yes.
That's why. So I was like, wee. So I have the mobile
Actually
electron here.
moving around. Yep.
Yeah, you could brand it, you could make it more like a brand centric thing, but this is how I chose to do it, right?
Mm,
And then also the greater the number of mobile electrons means better conductivity, and that's it.
yep.
Yeah, so you could probably also do it like this, or you could box it up however you want to do to differentiate that this is the y. Yeah, like sometimes I like to draw a question mark here.
Ah, or
Yeah.
you could use a different color of pen.
Yeah. So this is the first point. Yeah, you could use a different color. Definitely use a different color. Like for me, I was kind of like I'm just juggling three colors, and then I'm not
Mm,
really thinking about color scheme. But if I was, then yes, I would probably have one color for main points
the
because I've got
main points.
black, green, and blue here. So I'll probably choose black for all the major points,
Yep.
and then blue for explanations, and then green for examples. So this would be in green, this would be in blue. So it's just easier to see.
Mm,
Mm, yep. All right. And then the second point is that it's malleable and ductile, right? So malleable meaning it can be hammered into different shapes.
yes.
So guys, where you can, another way to make your notes very, very easy to read and easy to study from when you don't feel like studying is, or when you don't want to study, is to replace as many words as you can with pictures.
With text.
But
Yep.
obviously, please uh, choose the common words.
Choose the
Like,
words that you understand.
yeah, yeah, like not too fancy because like later on when you come back, you're gonna be like, what did I just do? So like at least I recognize that this is a hammer and I recognize that this is shapes. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So forever. All right. So these are the ones that I felt I could swap out with pictures.
Mm,
So malleable, I've got the definition here all in one note, like at a glance. Ductile, I drew a wire hanger here, right?
mm,
So because it can be drawn into wires without breaking. That's it. Yeah, so you have that there. So this is the second major point, and here's the why, right? And again, I would probably have done this in blue if I had more
true.
time to really think about my notes, right? So why metal ions form orderly and rigid arrangements. So for me, I was like thinking soldiers.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, and I kind of drew them in swimming trunks. I
Are they navy?
because because of the next part of the explanation. I added this later, okay, guys. And if I
Okay.
had more time, I would probably have more rows of them where they're a rigid arrangement, so that this part here of the explanation is more, how to say it's more obvious, right, for
Mm,
me, right? Which is basically when force is applied, one layer slides over the other through a sea of electrons.
yep.
That's my sea of electrons. So that's why they're wearing swimming trunks
Mm.
because they're in the sea.
They're in the middle of the ocean, right?
Yes.
Okay.
If I could draw like Nat and Yvonne, all these would be buff guys.
So here's the fun part about the note, isn't it? You get to choose your own preference just to decorate whatever you want.
Yes, that's right. So
Totally customizable.
yeah. So can you guys see that even if you don't feel like studying, like can you see why these notes work even if you don't feel like studying? Because there's humor in it. There's these strange pictures.
Yeah, because immediately if you don't recall the facts, you can just call it like, oh, the jokes about the navy in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna get Nat and Yvonne to do this for the ladies and the gents who like, buff buds. I'm just gonna put a little note here because these notes I passed them on to Nat and Yvonne to really really pretty up, and I think we're about halfway through the program, so we're gonna take a bit of a pause here, a breather, and I'm gonna show you I'm gonna show you what we've been working on so far.
Okay.
Yeah, full sets of notes basically to save you from uh, the grief of studying. Yeah, because we know that you guys probably may or may not have the time to do this. It's obviously best if you could, but if you can't figure it out, that's why we designed the notes. Yeah, so that you can escape the torture of studying, the tyranny of studying. So let me share screen. I will attempt to share screen. Uh, see? Yeah. Woohoo! Okay. All right. So here we go. So these are. Oh, sorry, putting in comments. So these are what are looking like right now.
Mm. Yay!
Hey.
Yes. Yes.
So you can see the pictures. See like carry electrical charges. So took it, and this is what I mean by the so they took it a step further, literally carrying electrical charges. so, so at a glance, right, when you're studying, okay, you can actually see the definition straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So we just need to make it as visual and as possible through the visual, so that because with episodes we are basically elaborating on the fact that a picture paints 1,000. Yeah. So that means just a lot less memorizing. I wish
Play.
I think I'd be. Oops. I think I'd be a lot better at studying if I had this. All right. And
Yep.
coming back to the regular programming. All right. Okay. So looking at the time, right, Joe, it's already 8:27 because of all the glitches. I think let's continue on for probably another 10 more minutes and then call it a night. Yeah.
Sure. No problem.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, all right. So that you guys can see this, right? Yeah, like how
Yeah.
easy it is. Last week also, I'll get to the one other thing we promised you last week. It's that sometimes like because all of this, you have all the images, the physical properties, all kind of like separately, talked about, right? Which these kinds of notes, well, this style of notes is like it's good, right? For like if you need to revise on the explanation. But what
Yeah.
if you like already know this, right? What if you already know this? And I felt that I want to show you an example. I didn't draw one for this one, but I did. Oh, hang on, mosquito. But I did do one where, yeah, I have sweet blood. They've been coming after me. They've been coming after me all night. I'm seeing another mosquito. All right, but we did do one for another, I think the physical properties of metals and non-metals. So I'm
Yeah.
going to just use that as an example, right?
Hmm.
So that you guys can see it very quickly. All right.
Here.
All right, it's clear, right? Okay, so obviously in a perfect world, this, all right, hang on, here's how I would do it. This would be in one page.
Yep.
Yeah, I was in a hurry. So there we go. Yeah, this would be in one page, right? So you can see it's very very visual, physical
Mm.
properties, right? So yeah, so basically conducts electricity. I would actually go across this way and do a row of like I would do ionic bond, covalent bond, metallic bond, giant covalent, ionic bond, giant lattice.
Yeah. Giant
Yeah,
covalent.
yeah, and then covalent bond, giant covalent bond, and then metallic bonding.
Mm.
Yeah, so I'll go right across, and then I'll have this like yes, no, and whatever exceptions there are, I'll just put it in, and
Mm.
whatever what do you call that
Keywords.
terminology,
The
right?
terms. Yeah.
Yeah, like brittle or breakable or whatever, just put it in. Yeah, and sometimes like over here, I have like little notes here. It can be beaten into shape. That's what malleable means, right? Or you
Mm.
could put the definition here: can be beaten to shape, can be drawn out into wires. Yeah, so you could do stuff like that. And I'm getting bit. This is such a strange night to do for Imagine Notes, I swear. Right? And then here we have lustrous and sonorous, but obviously you don't need that for ionic bond, right? It's mostly conducts electricity, but it's malleable or ductile. That's it,
Mm.
right? So you don't actually need these. Yeah. All right, because this is for metal, non-metal. So at least then with this, if you're revising, you have something where you can sort of tell at a glance what you need to know.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's really it. That's just how straightforward it can be. Yeah, with notes. The idea behind, because a lot of people tell you to take notes, right? And a lot of people take, we've mentioned before in the previous episodes, a lot of people take notes to remember, um, but no one actually teaches you how to like really make you remember. And the reason why I came up with this in high school was because A, I hated studying, and then B, I still had to somehow get straight A's, and I didn't want to sacrifice and I felt like studying should be actually fun. Yeah, so if you check my old high school notes and all that, it is littered with like a little bits and pieces of these kinds of notes. You don't have to do it for every note.
Mm.
You can just focus, for those of you out there, you can just focus on those difficult to remember topics, and that's really all you need. The ones that you can remember, you don't really need uh, imagine notes, right? But we felt that if you had like a whole chapter, looking like this, it's so fun to study from it. Yeah, right. So that's why we're creating the full sets of notes. Then the other reason also was because people are selling notes out there they've got beautiful written handwriting and beautiful calligraphy, but the problem is that it's still words.
Yeah.
And when
That's
it's
our
words,
word.
yeah, and the problem is that when it's all words, you have to put so much effort into remembering, right? Like, let's just take this part here, right? Because I did not turn this into pictures, right? Versus like something like this, where you can just tell at a glance what your note is about.
Mm.
Mm, right? And I was also inspired by the movie The Matrix, where it had me wishing. I don't know if if you have not watched it, it's okay. It's definitely not a generational thing. But in the first movie, it was a cult. There was a cult following for this. But in the first movie, basically, they could plug a wire in the back of your neck at the base of your skull, right? And then you'd be able to learn and master kung fu in a
Yes.
matter of
Mm.
hours, like a lifetime of kung fu in a matter of hours, and become
Yeah.
this like super pro as like right fighter, right? And I was just thinking like, man, I wish we had that for our SPM, which is the equivalent of the IGCSE. Right? Imagine if you just stick something in there and I download everything, right?
Yeah.
All our problems would be solved. So
Mm.
unfortunately, that didn't. Obviously, that's not possible, except for in the movie,
Yeah.
right? So based on that concept, I guess over the years, I was trying to look for ways to get a similar effect without becoming a robot.
Or without getting plugged.
Right? I mean, as a teacher, I would be so happy, right? I just like, "Oh, okay, guys, just plug in, and I'll just like turn on the machine."
Start uploading.
Yes, and you guys get everything you need to know, right? So that's pretty much it. So if you guys are enjoying what you're seeing, and you guys think that, hey, this is for me, right? And that's why we call Imagine Notes the chemistry notes for. I mean, that's why we call the session the chemistry notes for lazy people. Is because while I was an A student, I was honestly really lazy to study. Every single session to sit down and study is like a huge battle. Yeah, like fighting myself every single time, or fighting like laziness, or fighting like the fact that, oh, I really don't want to do this because it's so hard, or it's too much, that's overwhelmed, with the reluctance, the resistance to
Yeah.
doing it. Yeah, so it's just very icky, the whole experience of studying, and we wanted to make it less icky.
Mm.
Yeah, it's still going to be icky at some point, but yeah. So yeah, so just a glimpse of the giant covalent structures.
Yes.
Yeah, so I just kind of, um, yeah, so I just kind of, this one I would have drawn it, yeah, but I felt that because these two, what do you call that, terms are a little bit different, so I just left it at that. And what I'll probably do differently next time uh, is to basically just highlight which of this is different, right? Because a structure talks about an arrangement,
Mm.
and this one, a substance, talks about a network.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So that just kind of helps. And then you have the diamond, graphite, and silica, right? The examples. And then again, physical properties. Use pictures, don't use words, right? So this shows me high melting and boiling
Boiling.
points. And then I just put the cause here of strong covalent bonds. And then they cannot conduct electricity
Electricity.
because all the electrons are used to form covalent bonds, so there are no delocalized electrons like the metallic bonds.
Yeah. The electrons are not like they are fixated and not floating around.
Yes. Yeah, so they're not this sea that flows. That's what enables metals to conduct electricity so easily, right? So
Mm.
yeah, so when all of these things are occupied, when all of the electrons are occupied, you can't have this action ain't happening. Yeah, except for graphite because graphite has got one outer electron that's not used to form covalent bonds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So actually, this bit here was 4 pages of notes condensed because every single one, the explanation was kind of like showing. But at least, I mean, they will show the structure of diamond, graphite, and silica,
Yep.
but they're showing it basically to show you the explanation of the physical properties of each one. I mean, I was just like, it's just repeated 3 times with the exception of graphite.
Mm.
Yeah. All right. So I was just like, I think this is enough. I mean, for me, this is enough. If for you, you're like, no, I can't remember any of this, then you go ahead and turn those pages into notes. But for me, it's good enough. And so notes is about like cutting down the information you have to memorize. So you're cutting out all the fluff. All right. But we're taking it one step further. It's not just a summary of what you have to remember. We've also designed it in a way where it helps you remember and recall a whole lot better. Yeah. So without the struggle of like drilling and drilling and drilling. Yeah. Plus,
Yep.
on top of that, we've also designed active revision sheets.
Yep.
So yeah, because normally revision is kind of passive, like you're trying to recall what you have and you're sitting there passively trying to recall, or maybe you might be doing an activity like filling up an activity sheet, an
Mm.
activity book. So for us, we've made it fun as well through little mini games like crosswords or word searches and stuff like that, just to help you jog your memory, but you're also doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's about it. If you like what you're seeing here and this kind of education is totally for you because you're not the type to sit down, listen, uh, or to struggle memorizing all the words, yeah, do follow us on social media. Yeah, more than happy to have you because these notes are designed for people like you and people like me. Well, people like me, like that. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, to those who are joining us tonight, really appreciate you. Yeah, every single time, every
Yep.
single time I come on, we're so touched by all the views we've been getting. Um, I always feel that education is probably not the sexiest thing. Most of you would probably want to sort of like kick back and relax and just not think about stuff anymore once you're done. And I don't blame you for that. Yeah. So we try and make these sessions as light as possible. So let us know in the comments if you like this format where we've already done the notes and now we're just taking you through it step by step, telling you and just teaching you our thought process, or do you want to see us, fumble through it and draw it live? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
This is done on the fly. This is just click on it, first efficient, and that's it. Yeah. So so the first format will be this. The second format, see me creating this. Yeah, so just let us know. This format allows us to get more in half an hour. The other format, we can tackle a topic or two usually. Yeah. So these pros and cons, I'm putting it there to be transparent. Okay, so just let us know, and we might put it. We might run a poll on social media.
Hmm.
All right, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Appreciate you guys, and stay safe. And we'll see you next week.
Yay!
Yay.
Wait, next week is a holiday.
Oh yes, I shall end with be a metallic bond. Pretty. Because that's power. Yeah.
Yeah. That will
All right.
be the week after. Yeah.
Oh, oh, we have a special guest. Let me show you guys the special guest. Brady, but here you go. Ta-da.
Oh, hello.
This is our guest tonight joining us. His name is Jay.
And he's studying state of matter.
Yeah, I have my notes right now.
Yeah, you should have just take a picture of it.
Yeah, I should have. Wait, let me screenshot this. Dolce! Bye bye. Look up lah. One. Easy. Yep. Alright, guys. See you next week. I got to show my pupper. Alright, bye.
Bye. See ya. See you after Raya holiday.
Oh, yes, next week. So, yeah, we'll see you after Raya. Bye.